Hello and welcome back to the Auntie Lisa Show. Ba-ba-ba. What shall we do a story about today? Okay, bag number 1 is the red bag. Let's see. Dashi! Kristoffer, Auntie Lisa, Aleksander. One more. Nanny and GugGug. Ooh. They will be pleased. Silver bag. Good Lord above, it's more family members. Stephen, Suzy and Willow. Who else? Oh, I've picked up 2. JB and Drill. Okay. Bag of random things. Something good, please. Bag of random things. A magic potion. And a bag of places. I knew it was going to be that. Under the sea. Which is handy because that's where Dashi is. So that works, sort of. One day. Kristoffer, Aleksander and Auntie Lisa decided to go to a coral reef. Now, what indeed is a coral reef? I hear you cry. A coral reef is one of the most beautiful and amazing places in the world. It is an undersea place. It's real. And it's all made of coral, which is like, it looks like brightly coloured rocks, but in actual fact it's alive. And in amongst the brightly coloured rocks are loads of brightly coloured fish and really exciting looking crabs and turtles and great big fish, like sometimes sharks, but also other creatures. And it is super lovely and warm at the coral reef usually. Although you can get them in colder climates too, I'm told. But Auntie Lisa likes to swim in warm seas. So they decided that today they were going to go to visit a coral reef. But they needed a little help to get there. And they enlisted the help of Drill. Now, Drill is our good friend. Drill is a member of the Coast Guard and he owns a boat. Very handy. He's also super keen on scuba diving, which is also very handy. Now, as soon as they mentioned to Drill, he got super excited about the idea. So he said, hey, why don't you see if anyone else wants to come along? So Aleksander put it out there to JB and all their crew. And JB said, yeah, I'd love to go looking under the sea. That'd be amazing. Now, Parker, not so excited because Parker actually can't swim. So she said, no, thank you. I don't want to come under the sea today, but I will practice my swimming and then I'll come another day. And Jack said, don't worry, Parker, I'll keep you company and I'll teach you to swim a little bit in the shallows. How about that? So that was him being a good friend. El Fuego was off doing his own thing somewhere, but may appear later. Who knows? Now, Kristoffer got in touch with the Octonauts. And Dashi says, hey, I'd blooming love to come scuba diving in the coral reef with you guys because I can take loads of pictures of the amazing wildlife down there. So it was agreed. Dashi and JB and Aleksander, Kristoffer and Aunty Lisa and Drill were going on a trip to the seaside to a coral reef for scuba diving fun. So they packed a bag. And in that bag, they put all their underwater scuba gear, obviously, and some snacks and drinks and some very good suntan lotion. It's always super hot in these places. Now, they needed to choose a coral reef to go to, and they needed to find somewhere lovely and hot and sunny. And so they decided to go to the coast of America, in the south, by the coast, near the Caribbean, probably. And since they were popping to America for this fun trip, they decided to invite Stephen and Suzy. And since Stephen and Suzy were coming, obviously Willow the dog was coming too. So, off they all went. They all went to the Caribbean Sea. Yes, the Caribbean. They all met up at the Caribbean and were off on a little trip under the sea to look at all the wildlife. So they all put on their scuba gear and Drill sailed his boat out to the sea, to where the coral reef was. And they were just about to dive under the water when they got a call on Aunty Lisa's phone. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 bing. Aunty Lisa said, hello. And it was Nanny and GugGug. Nanny and GugGug said, well, Nanny said, hello, how are you? And Aunty Lisa said, well, we're good, bit busy. We're just about to go diving in the coral reef. What do you think about that? And Nanny said, ooh, have you got all your equipment? Have you checked all the valves? Have you definitely got enough oxygen? Everyone's got their scuba gear, haven't they? And Aunty Lisa said, yes. And Nanny said, and you've checked with the Coast Guard that it's safe to go out? And Aunty Lisa said, yes. Drill's on the Coast Guard, so we're fine. And Nanny said, okay then, well, we were just calling to say hello. And Aunty said, well, it's lovely. Tell you what, how's GugGug? And Nanny said, oh, he's here. And GugGug came on, hello. What you doing then? And Aunty Lisa explained we're going scuba diving. She said, right, that's good. Get some exercise. That's right. And take lots of photos and we'll look at them later, okay? And Aunty Lisa said, yeah, no problemo. Catch you later, bye-bye. Put the phone down. Always calling at silly times. Bit like Aunty Lisa when it's dinner time. Always calling when it's dinner time lately. Anywho, so they all dived into the water. It was amazing and lovely and super warm and cozy. And Willow the dog had a specially adapted scuba gear so that she could swim along too, which was pretty cool. She might just be the first ever scuba diving dog that has ever been. All her fur was like billowing out behind her and she quite enjoyed it. Anyway, so I was swimming under the sea and looking at all the amazing fish, and Dashi was super excited. She was taking pictures of all of the exciting animals. When suddenly Uncle Stephen spotted something and he went, what's that down there, everybody? Look down there. And Auntie Sue said, oh yeah. She sounded just like Stephen. That looks like a bottle. And Auntie Lee said, that doesn't sound very unusual. There's lots of rubbish in the sea. But Aleksander and Kristoffer and Drill swam down. And they pulled the bottle out of the bottom of the sand. And they went, whoa. Whoa, this is a bottle and it's got some writing on it. Quick, let's all go up onto the boat and read what it says. So, I swam up and back onto the boat. And when they were back on the boat, they looked at what the bottle said. And the bottle had some very old style writing on it. And it said, this here magic potion should only be taken in extreme circumstances. It is definitely not to be taken on a whim just to see what it does. Well, I mean, that's just asking for trouble. And then they turned it around and it said, magic potion can be used for A, growing really, really, really enormous. B, going super teeny weeny tiny. C, curing a cold. Oh, that's useful for Auntie Lisa. D, getting rid of unwanted facial hair. Also useful. E, growing extra beard. Uncle Stephen was interested in that. He's still got that little gap. Just there. No beard growth. I don't get to E. E. Fixing all problems ever and making it so you can dance like a super cool disco diva. Wow. The next thing they did was they checked to see if there was anything left in the bottle and they went, the bottle was full. And they were like, ooh. Now, it's a terrible idea, as everyone knows, to drink random liquids that you find, especially those with warnings on, and especially those that you find at the bottom of the sea. So what they did was they thought they would take it back home with them, and then JB could do some tests on it in her lab and see what it's made of, because they thought that would be a super cool idea. So, after all their holiday in the Caribbean, going under the coral reefs and looking at all the animals, they flew back to home, wherever that may be. And they flew home, and they went on the way home to visit Nanny and GugGug. And they visited Nanny and GugGug for a few days, in fact, because it's always nice to drop in on Nanny and GugGug. Now, on this occasion, they decided to have a little bit of a party. So, they had all loads of food out and loads of different drink out. And everybody had been kind of half unpacking their bags, but not completely unpacking their bags. And then the party began. So, everyone just stopped unpacking their bags and went and had the best party at Nanny and GugGug's house. For example, they played lots of games, like hide and seek and musical bumps and musical statues where you do this. It was a great party. And at the party, all the grown-ups had a cheeky glass of wine. However, something weird began to happen. No one could find GugGug. That was the first weird thing that happened. Everyone went, have you seen GugGug? No, I haven't seen GugGug. Wonder where he's gone. Is he in the toilet? No, not in the toilet. Maybe he's fixing his bike in the garden. He wasn't fixing his bike in the garden. Is he in the loft? Sorting out some rubbish, throwing things away? He wasn't in the loft. They searched and they searched. And then they heard a teeny tiny voice. It went, I'm down here! Down here! And they went, what the? Is there a mouse in here? It was GugGug! And he was tiny! And they went, oh no, GugGug! What happened to you? And he went, well, I was just having a nice drink, opened that new bottle that you brought along, And before I knew it, I was teeny tiny. And or rather, I was teeny tiny. And everyone went, did you give that to anybody else? Well, just as they were saying that, Uncle Stephen grew a full beard. It filled in that patch there, and he was super chuffed. He just went, oh, look at my amazing beard. Yeah, it filled in that bit really nicely. Caw, brilliant. Wow. The next thing that happened turned out to be a little bit less lucky, because they looked into the garden where they'd left Nanny drinking a cup of tea, and they could only see her feet. Why could they only see her feet, do you suppose? Well, it's because Nanny was now a giant. She was enormous, as big as the house. And all you could see if you looked out of the window at the garden was her feet. And I went, oh no, Nanny. And then it went, I don't know what's happened. I was just drinking that new wine, and now I'm a giant. Oh dear. I really shouldn't have drank that new wine without looking properly at the label first. And everyone went, oh, Nanny. Aww. Then they looked around. Poor Willow. Willow the dog was completely bald. All of her facial hair and the rest of her body hair had fallen out. Oh, poor Willow. Poor Willow was like, ah. Everyone, oh no, Willow, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, luckily enough, Aunty Lisa hadn't had any of the concoction, nor of course had Kristoffer and Aleksander, because they don't drink wine, and nor had JB or Suzy. So it was up to them to fix the problem. So they left everybody. They left Nanny and GugGug at home. GugGug had to sit on top of the television so that no one would accidentally squash him. And Nanny had to sit in the back garden and have drinks out of the garden hose because no one had a big enough cup for her. And Stephen was pretty happy actually, but we left him there to keep an eye on the other two. And the rest of them went back to JB's lab. And JB did some tests on the magical potion. She had all the bubbly things, all those test tubes, all lined up, bubbling away, all kinds of stuff. And Jack was there, and so was Parker, and they all just stood there looking at it going, this is super weird stuff. I don't know if we can fix it. Oh dear, maybe Nanny and GugGug are going to be stuck like that forever. And Stephen will be insufferable now that his beard is amazing. I wonder who can help. We've figured out kind of what's in the magic potion, but of course there's the magic element. And that's just something sometimes you cannot put your finger quite on. We need to know who made this magic potion. That's what we need to know. But how? Now, as it happens, sometimes an enemy can be your only ally. And they thought to themselves, who do we know who knows about the history of the 7 seas? And they thought, oh no, we're going to have to ask Captain BlackPaw for help. Maybe he knows where this potion came from. So they put their scuba gear back on. And they went to Captain BlackPaw's shipwreck. Drills took them out on the boat. The potion hadn't affected him because he was very sensible and had been drinking squash. And so they went out to sea and dived down to the shipwreck. And they got down to the bottom of the shipwreck and they said, Captain BlackPaw, are you here? Captain BlackPaw, Captain BlackPaw appeared out of the gloom. He went, "Arr! You horrible scurvy scallywags again? Why you keep disturbing my peace down here in my shipwreck? Be you trying to steal my gold?" And everyone said, "No, no, 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 no. We need your help, Captain BlackPaw. We need your help." Captain BlackPaw went, "What? You need my help? Well, that seems pretty weird to me. What does he need my help for?" And Aleksander and Kristoffer said, "Well, do you happen to know of any witches from a long time ago, or wizards or something, that might have made a magic potion which we or friends of ours might have accidentally drunk, and then you might be able to give us the antidote, maybe?" And Captain BlackPaw said, "Why should I be helping you?" And everyone thought for a minute. And JB said, "Because then I won't bust your bottom." And she got her little phony thing out. What's it called? iPad. And Captain BlackPaw went, "Well, maybe we can arrange a truce. You won't try and bust me, and I will see what I can do about this potion of yours." And they agreed upon a truce. Now, Captain BlackPaw seems had a few shady shenanigans in his youth, and one of them was with a witch called Cruella Kitty Shoes. Cruella Kitty Shoes. And he said, "I know a witch. There's a ghost of her around these parts. Her name be Cruella Kitty Shoes. She used to make funny potions. Sometimes she was kind. Sometimes she was horrible. She dumped me, she did. I was really sad. There, okay, I think she's over there. Go over there now. Bye." And off he went. So they swam over to where Captain BlackPaw had told them. And sure enough, out of the gloom appeared a strange creature. And she said, "Ha, ha, ha, hello. I don't get many visitors round here." She was a cat witch. And Aleksander and Kristoffer went, "Oh, it's a cat." They didn't say it like that. They went, "Oh, it's a cat witch." Well, we didn't expect that. Aunty Lisa also didn't expect that. But anyway, they said, "Hey, do you think you could help us? We found this magic potion." Or, "Do you think it would help us?" It's really hard to explain when you're underwater. "We found this magic potion and it's made our Nanny go enormous, and GugGug is teeny, and the dog has no hair, and Uncle Stephen has an amazing beard. Is there an antidote?" And Cruella Kitty Shoes said, "There is an antidote, but you have to do one favour for me first." And they said, "Depends what it is, but okay." And Cruella Kitty Shoes said, "Will you rub my ears? Nobody rubs my ears anymore. I'm a pretty cat and I love it." So Aunty Lisa said, "Yes, I'll rub your ears." She rubbed the Cruella Kitty Shoes' ears. Easily, job done. Cruella Kitty Shoes said, "All you need, the antidote comes in 3 parts. One part is a shell from a coral reef. And the second part is a claw from a dinosaur. And the third part is a sausage." And everyone went, "A sausage?" And she's, "A sausage. And you mix it all together into a paste. And then they eat it. Sorted." And everyone went, "Well, that sounds absolutely brilliant. Thanks, Cruella Kitty Shoes. we'll be off. And she said, come back soon. I like my ears rubbed. And they said, okay, Cruella Kitty Shoes, will come back soon. So off they went. Now, as luck would have it, while they were at the coral reef, they had collected a shell. And by means of asking Owen very nicely, they got hold of a dinosaur claw. And because Aleksander and Kristoffer always pack them in their lunch bags, they had a sausage. So they went back to the Nanny and GugGug's house. And they put all the ingredients together and they smushed them up. It took quite a lot of smushing because shells are very hard and so are dinosaur claws. After a lot of smushing, they then put them in the food processor because the smushing wasn't working. And they went, and it was the most disgusting looking thing you've ever seen in your life. It was like kind of mud with bits in it. It didn't smell great either. But magic potion it was. Or rather, antidote too. So first, they gave a teeny tiny weeny bit to GugGug. And GugGug went, I'm not eating it. Ugh. Or rather, I'm not eating that. It looks horrible. And they said, GugGug, do you want to be a teeny tiny person that sits on the television forever? And GugGug went, no, okay, I'll eat it. And he ate it. And he went, and it was back to normal GugGug size. And everyone went, whoa, it really worked. That's pretty cool. And then they gave a medium-sized bit to Willow the dog. And Willow the dog went, bleh. And then they said, eat it, Willow. You're going to have no hair forever. Willow went, okay. But, you know, dog language. And Willow the dog ate it. And then she went, whoop. Oh, the hair grew back all over her body. And she was like, and I said, oh, Willow the dog, you look so much better when you're not bald. And then they went outside to Nanny. And they had got a biggest bit left for Nanny. And Nanny went, okay, if you're sure it will work, I'll try a bit. And she ate it. And then she went, bleh. And she went back to normal Nanny size. And then they went, Uncle Stephen, we've got enough left for you. And Uncle Stephen said, not a chance. I've never had such a fine beard in all my life. I'm going to keep it. And everyone went, fine. And so, at the end of our story now, Uncle Stephen has the most fabulous beard. And everyone else is back to normal. It's a pretty happy ending all in. But there's an important lesson, which is never, ever, ever drink random things. You don't know what they do. And that is the end of the story. Oh, wait, I forgot to give them all ice cream. Everybody had an ice cream. And that is the end of the story. Love you. Bye-bye.